The death of Renee Nicole Good can only be described as a tragedy. All over America, American citizens are divided between whether or not what happened to Miss Good was a justified shooting or a cold-blooded murder. For the very first time, we are hearing from the family of Renee Nicole Good, specifically the father of her ex-husband, Tim Macklin, Tim Macklin Sr. Tim Macklin Sr. sat down with reporters, a pastor out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and made it very clear where he stood on this issue.
No, nothing about charges or anything that, just an investigation into what happened in terms of the ICE agents' actions. But they were, according to the prosecutors resigning today, pressuring them to investigate Renee's actions and Becca, her wife's actions. How do you feel about all that?
Well, I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, it's a hard situation all the way around. It's hard for for everybody involved. I mean, the ICE agent, at first I didn't see the footage where, he was actually, he was actually being ran. I mean, I seen the bump of the car hitting his legs. And so in a flash like that, it's hard to say how you would react. From my understanding that he had been through that before, maybe dragged or something. And so, like I said, it's just a hard situation for everybody. Becca, she's a great person as well. I mean, I don't have any many enemies. I love everybody, and that's what the Bible tells us: love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But I think there's some bad choices, and the word says, "For the wrath of God will come up on the children of disobedience." And it's I don't blame ICE, I don't blame Rebecca, I don't blame Renee. I just wish that if we're walking the Spirit of God, I don't think she would have been there. That's the way I look at it.
One of the things that Pastor Macklin made abundantly clear was that, one, he supports the authorities of this land. Another thing is that he encouraged Americans to not lean upon their own understanding, but place their faith in God and obey the authorities that God has placed in power over us. How timely is the message of Tim Macklin Sr.? People are outraged. People are empathetic. But at the same time, people are allowing that empathy to turn toxic. And the political representatives in this country are not making things any better by, during a time where they should be encouraging unity, instead choosing to stoke the flames of division. Tim Macklin Sr.'s message was so profound and was so accurate in hitting its target, it provoked a response from none other than President Donald J. Trump.
I want to say to the father that I love all of our people. They can be on the other side. As you say, he might be on my side.
He is on your side.
And I think that's great. And I do. I think it's great. And I would bet you that she, under normal circumstances, was a very solid, wonderful person. But then her actions were pretty tough. When I've seen it many ways and many different shapes and forms.
Notice the humility President Trump displays in responding to Tim Macklin Sr. He didn't agitate. He didn't heckle. He didn't talk down to Pastor Macklin. Trump made it clear he is not happy about the death of Renee Nicole Good. He is not celebrating the tragic occurrence. Unlike the radical leftists who openly celebrated the death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, President Trump sent a message that encouraged the American people to unite. He sent a message that encouraged unity over division. Now, do you think the left will hear his message and make a pivot towards unity and coming together as a nation? Probably not, because it's very hard to politicize unity. In the days of old, tragedies would occur, and that would be the catalyst for both sides, no matter where people stood, left or right, coming together to get back to the middle, throw water on the flames of chaos, and move in the direction of creating a better, stronger, healthier, more unified America. But that seems to be a thing of the past, because at every turn, you hear people who claim to care so much prove to you that they don't even care enough to help dial down the inflammatory rhetoric in a way that will bring people back to a place where instead of looking for reasons to be enraged, they are looking for reasons to be understanding, looking for reasons to compromise, not going out in the street and violently defending their position, but using the political apparatus made available to us to voice their opinion in a lawful way. And if enough people support them, guess what? They will be handed the mantle of power in this country. It's a very simple solution to all of this. If you believe that Renee Nicole Good's death was a murder, if you believe Renee Nicole's death was a murder, support the representatives who believe the same as you and are moving to pass legislation that prevents what happened from happening again. If you believe that Renee Nicole Good's death was a justified shooting, although it was a tragedy, then simply support and vote for the representatives who agree with that position. And whoever America agrees with in the majority, that is who will be handed the mantle of leadership. Very simple. All of the violent confrontations, the agitating, all of those things, 100% unnecessary. It gets us nowhere. And I believe that that is the message that not only President Donald Trump is sending, but former father-in-law of Renee Nicole Good, Tim Macklin Sr. is sending. And I promise you this, no blue-haired liberal from any liberal city around the United States care more about Tim Macklin Sr.'s former daughter-in-law than he does. She's the mother of his grandchildren. She is the widow of his son. They didn't divorce. He died. So it wasn't like she was unhappy and decided to leave the family. He cares about her. He cares about her more than these people pretending to care about her, using her death as a vehicle for fake outrage, all in the name of weaponizing the tragedy in a political way. It's really very simple what needs to be done here, and I can only say it so many different ways. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you believe that violence and chaos is what needs to happen to save this country, let me know. If you believe that we all need to get back to a position of understanding and compromise, let me know. All opinions are welcomed. Thank you for watching this. Until the next time, peace.